And hello fellow takers, Space Bandit here with another episode of World of Tanks. And today I have a different type of video for you guys, which is titled Space versus Unicorns. Well, actually I should say Space versus Unicums. So I have two games for you guys, and these games are going to show how do I motivate myself in order to do better in the game. In both games there will be Unicums on the opposing team, and basically in both cases I have to know, well, I know that I have to do better from a damage perspective than they can. In order for us to win the game, I have to put on my carry pants on, and I gotta do my damage, and I gotta push, and I gotta work hard in order to pull this game out. And that's what these two games are gonna show. So in the first game we are in the AMX 30B. Man, I love this machine. Ever since it was buffed, this is one of my go-to tanks. And I tell you guys, you're not going to be disappointed if you grind up to this tank. It's absolutely fantastic. I have more good games to show you in this tank. It's just amazing machine. APCR rounds, base rounds are just amazing. Absolutely amazing. And shell velocity, mobility of this tank. And it can bounce shells here and there. So take a look what I'm going to do here. I'm gonna come to the brawling location. On Himmelsdorf you would think, oh, soft tank like that, what are you gonna do, Space? I'm gonna hide behind E5 and I'm just gonna poke out and farm. That's exactly what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna risk it early to see if anybody's shooting at me, and I'm gonna use my mobility to back out as quickly as I can. But this gun, oh my goodness, look at that accuracy. I mean, every time you aim it goes where it's supposed to go. So this is where I knew that the Unicum on the opposing team will come to the same location here, and he will try to get as much damage as possible. And he's got a lot of targets because a lot of our team actually came here. So I really want to match his damage output, and that's exactly what I'm doing. I'm basically focused on putting shots in. So I'm using this E5 in front of me as a screen, and I'm basically putting shots in as much as I can. Now that we killed most of these guys up here, it's pretty much game over. I mean, to be honest, the opposing team wasn't that good in this game, but it still shows you example of how I actually try to motivate myself in order to get as much damage as possible and outduel the Unicum on the opposing team, right? So as you can see, he ran off already. He's gone because, you know, that's what you should do. I mean, this guy is pretty much in a, you know, dead man's land. There's nothing he can do. He's gonna die eventually. In order for you to get more damage, you should drop and try to get in a more defensive position. That's exactly what he did. So I'm looking for him here. I'm like, there's no way he went forward. He probably went all the way left here. And his tortoise is pretty much full health, so I was expecting him to be here. Try to shot on a move there on the tortoise. That didn't come off. And yes, there he is. But we're gonna try to feed off of this tortoise. I don't have shots at him, so I'm gonna try to take the shots that I have, right? I have a shot at him here, but unfortunately that went a little bit too low. I should have aimed it a little bit higher onto his roof, but it went into his manlet and it didn't pen that shot. Anyway, he's playing it really well, so I'm not gonna pen him. I'm gonna pen the guy that actually gives me shots. So that's what I'm doing. I'm shooting the tortoise, and at the same time I'm hiding. As you can see, he's aiming at my cupola here right now, but he missed that shot. But we're gonna get him right there because he turned his turret, and we're gonna continue feeding off this tortoise. We're gonna try to hit him in cupola here, but I think, yeah, he gets taken out. So now we're gonna chase after this guy here, and we're gonna put a shell on a move just like that. This tank is just beautiful, boys and girls. I just absolutely adore it. Amazing. Whenever I have a string of bad games, I get into this tank, and it's just so good. Anyway, we're gonna try to create 1v1 situation between me and him, and I know he's doing the same thing, but I have more HP. If he hit me here, he would have had more HP. That would have been kind of tricky. But at this point in time, I have more HP, so we're going to just charge him. We want all that damage to ourselves right there. Unfortunately, he tracks us, and we got that lucky shot through. I don't know how that went in with servo reticle and stuff like that. But anyway, we put another shell into him, and we should be able to take him out here. I don't care if he puts one more shell into me. He can't take me out, but the waffle steals that kill from me. Mother tracker, as Skill would say. Anyway, quick, very quick. Fantastic game. And city? What city? You know, AMX 30B doesn't care. This tank is incredible. So only 4.7k damage, but that doesn't matter. What matters here is that I try to match or exceed the output of the opposing Unicam player, and I managed to do that, and based on that we were able to win the game. Although, you know what, honestly, in this situation we would have probably won anyway, because it looked like the team on the opposing side wasn't that good. Anyway, I have another game for you guys, and that's in the sharpshooter, so let's jump into that right now. Anyway, second game is on map Can. We got the East spawn on this map. As you can see, it's loaded with good players. And yeah, I recognize a few names here, some Unicums there, so I thought same thing to myself. I gotta pull extra weight in this game. And this is a tier 10 game as well, and I'm a tier 9. But sharpshooter, another great tank, guys. This tank plays like a tier 10, to be honest. With strong turret armor, E50's gun. Yeah, all you gotta do is get yourself in a good hold down position so that you can hold your own, and that's all you really need. And this game is gonna be fantastic because not only that I'm facing Unicums, I'm not gonna use any APCR rounds or premium rounds in this game at all. Well, until the end at least, which makes me really proud of what I achieved in this game, to be honest. Anyway, first we got this guy just floating around, and yeah, he's just throwing his tank away. Like in many cases in some of those games, this is the worst thing the light tank player can do, is throw his tank away, especially powerful thing like a Sheridan. Come on, guys, really, don't do that. Don't do stuff like that, because you weaken your team significantly. If this guy was alive at the end of the game, it is possible that the opposing team could win this game. Anyway, there's one RD in play, so I'm gonna take a risk here. I'm gonna get into this pocket here, and this pocket will be great for sharpshooter because I can use my gun depression right here. And I know these guys will be pushing to this area. As you can see, Immortal's guy is already here, so we're running into the guy that we were thinking about. A couple other guys are in here as well, so we need to make sure we pin those shots. Try to track him there. We did manage to track him. He repairs, but he backs off into a more safe position. But we're gonna still see if we can get a shot at him, because he doesn't have much coverage there and his ass is sticking out, so we put another shell into him right there. We're gonna back off, worried about this light tank a little bit, but he disappears. So basically, what Unicums usually do, they put themselves in a very aggressive position, yet that's strong for their tank. And this position here is quite aggressive, where he came up, and I was expecting him to be there. And that's why I made this play, because I wanted to counter his position, right? But as you can see, there's a lot more tanks coming here. There's this Yak Tiger here. We're going to try to track him. We track him in place. Hopefully our team can feast on him. But unfortunately, he repairs quite quickly. So we're going to try to chew him down and help a little bit here. That's a bad shot on my part. At the same time, someone hits me on the side of the turret, and that's the Immortals guy, because he repositioned. You know, smart player that he is, but that's fine. He's got a bigger cupola than I do, so we're going to put a shell into his cupola, and that is going to discourage him to, you know, push me any further, and he's going to change position, and that's exactly what I would do at the same time. Anyway, we're going to focus this object 430U right here. I thought turret ring shot, but it wasn't really visible. There was a quick snap, so that didn't come off. But at the same time, I'm a little bit worried. RD hasn't been paying attention to me, but I know in the far distance there is a French autoloader. So that's one thing. That's why I'm not moving further. I'm not pushing here. I'm using that wreck in front of me to protect myself. I'm just waiting for the opportunity, because I know that guy's in the back. He was spotted there once. I did notice him in the corner of my eye. So last thing I want to do is get clipped out. I'm only on 710 health, but he's not targeting me right now. So I'm going to try to take this opportunity in a split second. I'm going to go after this button. Now, this is a very aggressive move. I could have died here, guys, but sometimes you got to take chances. So we're going to track him first. That's exactly what we're going to do. And now we're going to back off, and we're going to aim at his turret, at his cupola, because that's the easiest shot, and I didn't want to overexpose myself. As you can see, he had a hard time hitting me. At the same time, I noticed the French autoloader over there, so I'm like backing out. I'm like, I don't want any part of that, because I'm gonna die. Now I see him backed off, so now we're gonna make that push. So we're gonna push over the hill right now. But what we need to do is we need to isolate ourselves from these tank destroyers, right? So I want to get behind this guy so that these tank destroyers that are on my left cannot hit me. So that's exactly what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna come behind him right here. We're gonna go into third-person view. I was thinking about tracking him there, but the problem with tracking is sometimes it just doesn't work in this game. So I said, screw it, I'm just gonna go for damage. and I put a damaging hit. And now what we're gonna do is our team is kind of in a dip there, and they're all in trouble because those tank destroyers on the left, they're putting huge shells into these guys. And they're bringing this game really close, so I decided to like run off right away. I'm like, I don't want any part of it. I was willing to take one hit from the autoloader if I had to. Hopefully I could have lost my 6th sense, but it looks like, yeah, here I lost my 6th sense, so I might have taken a hit. But I had to make that play. And he wasn't targeting me all game, so I was thinking maybe he's not going to target me. And now we're going to switch to APCR rounds because we're going to face the E100. E100 is pretty tough, so I'm like, if I need to hit his turret, I don't think I'll be able to pen it, to be honest. But anywhere else, it's going to be hard to pen him, so I'm like, okay, this is the time when we load APCR shells. Although, the entire game I was using APs, which I'm pretty proud of myself anyway. So we're going to come around here. We're going to try to track him here because best shot on E100 is through the drive wheel. He gets hammered by artillery at the same time. And I was hoping I can reload here before he comes out, and he comes after me, and I swallowed that shell. I don't know how he penned it so quickly, but I thought I had the upper hand on him when he was coming out, but unfortunately that didn't work out. Anyway, we're gonna come up here, we're gonna put a shell into this Jagdpanzer U100. At the same time, I know that the autoloader, French autoloader, is in the back, and I tried to go around the Jagdpanzer U100, but unfortunately he repaired in time, and I ran into his big fat ass, and he takes me out of the game, and we die. But this should be pretty much closing time. As you can see, very close competitive game, fantastic competitive game, and these are the games you thrive for. There were good players on both teams, and it was just fantastic to play in a game like that and participate in a game like that. I wish more games were like that, but it's not really the case lately. So we're gonna watch this guy from Clan Panzer, see if he can take out the autoloader that was sitting in the back and feasting on a lot of our tanks. And let's see if he's able to take him out. Now, he's a one-shot to him, so he's got to play it really safe. Plus, his engine's dead, so I wonder what he's going to do over here. If he really wants to take that guy out. Yeah, he makes that kind of a move. Actually, not a bad play at all. He goes on top of the rock. The top of the rock protects his hull, and he takes him out of the game. Anyway, pretty fantastic game, guys, to be honest. And again, very quick game, and that's what happens, you know, in this game when you have a bunch of good players on both teams, and it's just a total shootout. It's a complete shoot fest, right? And yeah, it was fantastic. So we did pretty well. We managed to put up what, almost 5k damage in this tank, and sharpshooter is another good tank. The only thing it lacks is mobility. We managed to get class 1 mastery. We had 14 penetrating hits, 2 kills, and unfortunately we died at the end. If we didn't die at the end, we could have probably gotten more damage. It would have been even sweeter. As you can see, we finished on top of the team. Object 268 finished second. Jagdpanzer E100 on the opposing team finished first with 6.6k damage. Fantastic game for him as well. Anyway, guys, I hope you enjoyed this video. That's it for now. Until next time, happy tanking, Space Bandit, checking out.